In today's video, Peace, Kai, and I decided to head out to Miyajima Island, which it's a pretty sacred place in Japan. It's actually only about 15 minutes from where we grew up. We decided it was time to revisit an old format that we used to do, and this is a combined Q&A. So sit back, relax, and hang out with us for a while.
Welcome. It's been 3 years.
3 years.
Since our first Q&A. A lot has changed.
First edition of Q&A is in my channel. If you guys want to check it out, please check out the link in the description. In this video, in this question, we answer career questions, technical questions, and
life in general. Miyajima today. Let's get into it. All right. When did you start YouTube?
I started YouTube back in 2011.
12 years.
12 years, yeah. I started YouTube 12 years ago. I upload over around 400 videos, I think, on my older channel. I started in Japanese. I was doing a comedy type of videos. I was looking up to like Smosh and other Japanese comedy YouTubers.
Smosh is Japanese?
No. Like I was watching Smosh because I was studying English, and not a great way to study English, but yeah, I started YouTube 2011. I made my new channel 2019 or 2020 when I was in college.
No, you did it 2019.
2019?
Yeah.
2019, before pandemic.
We'll link all of Peace's unreleased videos and deleted videos in a secret channel below.
On my 10K calorie challenges.
I started YouTube, my first video I posted was July 2018, and that video went viral. It was a 3D GIF tutorial on how to do the 3D GIFs without a film camera. And then I didn't post for like a year or 2 years. And then when I moved to Tokyo, I started working. Peace helped me get back into YouTube, or not even get back, but get started. And then I've been posting irregularly since 2020. But this past year, 2023, I tried to post a little bit more. And then next year, that's the main focus. So it's been 5 years since I started. What do you do in a Creative Rut?
In Creative Rut, I work out a lot and watch a ton of movies. Like that's it.
How does that make you more creative?
I don't know, serotonin maybe, because I feel good like overall. So motivation doesn't really make me creative. It's more like when I'm more of in a relaxed state. Sounds weird, but when I'm working out, like when I'm pumping irons, I feel relaxed. So that's when I get ideas. So I always have my Notion and notepad right next to me when I'm working out.
That's pretty good.
I know it's weird, but
I don't really get into Creative Ruts. That's the thing.
really? Oh, that's crazy, dude.
Not like a big time Creative Rut. But when I'm like lacking ideas, I like to go for runs, like to go outside, go eat good food, go get some ramen, try to do stuff that's not videography, photography.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes if you just go out, and I like to shoot on film, so a lot of times I'm not doing like, when I'm doing like, I feel like I'm getting Creative Rut when I like do like client work.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing just like my own stuff, I love it. So it's like not really.
I mean, if we get like
thing.
restrictions, that's when we get Creative Rut, I think. Yeah. But when it's all free to go, depends. When I was doing YouTube, I'm sorry for a long answer, but when I was doing YouTube channel, and when I'm like in my past marketing strategy for social media, I was like, I have to be in a certain niche. That's when I got into Creative Rut. I'm more relaxed now. Like I kind of do whatever I want. I
think it's a good headspace to be in. It's like when you're just kind of you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
then I don't think you get into. I mean, maybe some people do, but I don't think you get to like a creative rut. I think it's more like you get tired.
You know?
Yeah,
just like
out.
lack of energy.
I think that's when you got to do something that you enjoy.
Just have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the one effect that you love to do or use all the time?
Recently, I've been using a lot of rotoscope because rotoscoping is finally available on Final Cut, and that has been a struggle for me because going through Final Cut,
so hard. In Premiere
it's so
Pro.
hard,
Premiere
so
Pro's
hard. I mean,
difficult.
I use Premiere Pro too, and Premiere Pro has a really good combination between the After Effects. You can go back and forth easily.
I just want it all in one place.
I have it all in one place, the power of Final Cut, but the thing with Final Cut is that you have to put a lot of money towards plugins, so I put well over $1,000 on.
Rich man.
I'm not, bro. I'm broke as hell. How about you?
I've been using warp stabilizer a lot, way too much.
You really get it too.
I think it just saves my footage all the time, especially because I don't have, when you're hand holding stuff, you need a little bit more stable. I use warp stabilizer. I also use RSMB for speed ramping. I like doing speed ramping a lot recently.
Speed. Yeah, I do. I started.
I like slowing down like 50% and then speeding up.
Yeah,
doing like a little ramp. That's a good one.
Speed ramping's fun.
How long did you go with your first camera gear before you upgraded?
I'm more like every 5 years I change the camera. So my first camera was Rebel X7 something from Canon. Oh yeah. Okay. Then I changed it to A7 III, and then 5 years later changed to FX3.
I had the Canon 60 Mark I, and then I had that for 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
And I got the Sony A7 III. And then like 2 years later, I got the FX3.
Yeah.
So I'm on that one right now.
I think 5 years is a good range.
Yeah. Good range. Doesn't make any sense. How do you get brands to notice you when you're first starting off? I'm gonna say the basic stuff. I'm gonna say make spec work. If you wanna get noticed by like sportwear brands, for instance, you should make sportswear stuff. So you make the type of work that you're trying to get noticed for. You just keep making it, and over time you get much better at it, and brands will organically start to notice you. But what do you think, Peace?
Or you can do it like me, work in a media agency or like media company. So you will get connections throughout your, full-time job and work for a couple years. Then once you get out of it, if you work hard enough, diligent, be on time and stuff, people will like you and you'll get jobs after that. So you can do that too.
What's the cheapest gear or thing you always use for your photo or video work?
Yeah, you go first.
Photo work, I use the reflector. It's like a $30 like white, reflective white, and also you can change it to silver and gold.
Yeah.
Is like reflect the light. That's like easier way than buying like an expensive flash.
Yeah.
And then for video work, I use this guy, the blower that you use to get dust out of your lens when you switch lenses. How about you?
The cheapest for photos, I don't really have I don't use a reflector, I don't use anything. So I'll just say my Samyang 28mm f2.8.
It's the cheapest thing you use?
For a photo, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like I got it for 120 maybe.
Oh, it's cheap. That is very cheap.
It's pretty cheap. And for videos, I use a Rode Video Micro, which is a $40 microphone. That's like super small. I don't care if it.
You weren't using that earlier, though.
Yeah, I was using it all the time for like getting environmental sounds, and I do a lot of sound designs when I'm doing videos, which you guys should do too if you're making videos. I record a lot of environmental sounds with that microphone. It's just super cheap, so you can just like toss in your bag and you don't really care about it too. So
good recommendations.
Highly recommend it. Which one do you use most, English or Japanese, for your client work?
I definitely use English way more. I think most of my clients are US based. And even if we're doing shoots in Japan, it's like the US or Europe office, and then I'll work in Japan locally, but I'll just be like doing the communications in English. I don't
know, I'm pretty half and half, low key. When I'm doing freelance work, I do Japanese a lot, but when I'm doing my social media side, I do English. For most of creative, if you have your own online persona, probably sponsorship and like doing some client works will be pretty good. But if you're just a full-on freelancer, I'll say client work is like the biggest way to earn your income.
Client work's really good. I think if you make work like, let's say, digital assets, so Luts, presets, and then also obviously like online courses, which just launched. It's a good little plug there. No, but seriously, I think if you make stuff that you can sell, you can do passive income. You could also do stuff like where you take on, a lot of times I'll do, let's say like casting or different production elements of work. Maybe you're the person who organizes everything. You're not just the person shooting it, not just like the cameraman. That's a lot of stuff that I do as well, where you work with, or you speak to brands and they have an idea for like a collection, and then you'll go ahead and organize everything. You'll find somebody to shoot it. Let's say I like hire a piece. I hire one of my friends to do like the art direction, someone to do styling, like hair and makeup, those sort of things you can do where it's not just where you're sitting behind a camera making videos, but there's a bunch of different elements in terms of the creative work that you can do where you can also charge for those elements and make money.
It's recording.
What's the biggest editing technique that's changed or improved your workflow?
For me, J-cut. I mean, L-cut sometimes, but mostly J-cut is
a YouTuber, huh?
Oh yeah, it's so important.
I'd say for me, it'd probably be learning how to color grade properly in DaVinci, and then also sound design. Sound design's been really important. Like just editing stuff to like music is boring, and the sound design makes it so much better. So it's more interesting. If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what career path would you be doing? That's funny because I graduated with a pre-med degree and I was supposed to go study law, but here we are shooting YouTube.
I think I would be a car mechanic, to be honest. I love cars. I want to work in the car industry or car media. I'll probably work in car mechanic or car media.
He told me his dream was to be a taxi driver in Tokyo, isn't that right?
What's that? Taxi driver?
Taxi driver, right?
Never.
I thought you said anything car related.
What?
Anything car related.
Anything car related that I can play around with sports cars.
Yeah. A sports car taxi.
Sports cars, yeah. Basically, yeah.
What are the golden rules for making useful content?
I mean, educational is always golden rules for useful content. It's evergreen, so the view will continue throughout your entire career life. It's not gonna be a huge hit, not gonna be a trendy video, but it's useful. It's golden rules.
I think any useful content, not just education, but any use, like even like a cool technique or something that introduces something that the viewer didn't know before. So maybe it's a really cool effect, or as you said, like something like a teaching method. Or even just like something that inspires somebody. I think that's pretty useful.
Like short films and stuff?
I
think it's useful.
Anything that just like inspire somebody to go out and shoot. I think that's useful. Whether it's like you're teaching somebody to go do something, or you're just like kind of pushing them a little bit, like, hey, like some fire shots. Why don't you come out and take some fire shots? You know.
Don't do tech like me.
What do you mean?
Tech is too trendy. After a year, it just goes away. So
I've seen some good tech channels though.
To start, it's cool, but like once you like me, if you've been doing it for 3 years, it's like everything is kind of good now. So nothing really to recommend. And you know, it's not very inspiring. Lifestyle is way better.
Over the course of your career, what is the one most important thing that you've learned? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, for me, consistency is always the most important thing. No matter what happened in your life, I'm sorry, but if you're not stopping uploading stuff, you will succeed, I think. Even in like, you know, even if your followers will not gain, I mean, some brand will notice your work and you'll start working for client stuff. So just keep working. I'll say, just keep working.
The most important thing I've learned over the course of working, I mean, we've been doing like photo and video stuff for over 10, 15 years. But in terms of like the client world and like doing this as a job, I think it's make sure to stay true to who you are, which is that's a lame answer. But I think as long as you make the content you're making is a reflection of yourself and it seems original and it seems like something that you really enjoy doing, I think it'll come off as something that's true to you. And when somebody, I think the biggest compliment is when someone sees your work and they immediately know that's your stuff.
That's so
like
true.
I see a Peace Gates work, like, oh, Peace shot that. I think that's a reflection, or that's a result of being consistent and just putting out stuff that you really feel confident about, you really feel like you're connected to, and that allows you to stay true to yourself, and allows you to not just hop on trends and do stuff that's not super related. You know
never hop on a trend. Never hop on a trend.
Do you think your creative thought process has changed or adapted over time?
Not really, to be honest. Every time I'm trying to think about new stuff or like trying to come up with new video editing technique, I just think about it. Nothing really changed. I just work out and stay fresh. You know, keep my mind fresh, and just same old.
I guess the thought process for me is that it hasn't really changed that much, but I think the way that I attack projects, I definitely have more of a conscious thought of like what kind of emotion, what kind of like thought, or what kind of feeling does this portray. But when I first started, I didn't really think about that kind of stuff. I was like, nah, just make whatever's cool. But I think now we make whatever's cool, but also think about the overall effect that the audience gets from the content.
I guess I need to be more thoughtful. No. Whatever looks cool, that's cool.
So that wraps up V2 of the Peace Gates and Gaku collaboration Q&A. The first one was 2020. This is 2023, 4-ish. What do we need for V3, edition 3?
Let's hit 10K likes, or we will release it in 2026 or 2027.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in 3 years. Appreciate it.
Have a great one.